Welcome back to the Appalachian Outfeed. We are back after a few days of kind of not great weather. It's been very overcast, rainy, and just raw and unpleasant outside. Also had some other things I had to get to. Had to throw a brake job on the wife's car, and then I had to clean some of that up this morning. But we got us a beautiful day. They put out a wind advisory last night, and the wind that they were advising on didn't get here till the middle of the night. Started blowing chairs off the porch and basically creating a ruckus. It's probably coming across the microphone now. It's mostly laid down, but it's still pretty active, but not nearly as bad as it was. So one of the things that went on within the last couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks back, while I was cutting on those locusts and everything, was I had my guy who does fire logs, not firewood, bring me another load. So all the stuff that you saw me splitting early on, that was on a different load from the same guy that again thought was going to be next year's wood. We're burning that as we speak. Still got a couple more locust trees I can pull. Actually, I've got a little bit of the trunk from the one I've been burning, and I got a whole nother small tree back there in that little ravine. It's just been so damp and wet. I haven't wanted to get back there on it. Maybe if it'll dry out the next few days, get back there and grab that up. So we still got a little bit of locust wood to burn, but had to pivot and start chewing into some of that wood from this last load. Well, we got this load of wood, pretty good bit of wood. First load I got was mostly cherry. This is actually a pretty good mix. Oak, ash, hickory, no walnut. Even got one piece of sycamore in here, which sycamore's split. So anyway, pretty good load of wood, and I get to sit here right by the shop and bucket up the length. And so what I want to do is finally be able to work my plan of handling the wood as little as possible. So we'll bucket up here, probably split it here after we get the stuff split, chunk it in the rig and haul it out there and put it in the stack. So hopefully this process of wood processing will be a little bit more efficient than my last several loads. So this is going to be kind of quick. I don't even know if I'll use the whole tank of gas in the saw, but because it will be a fair bit of cutting, I'll have my chaps on, double ear pro, and eye protection on. So still pretty chilly out here. I don't know, it might be 40 degrees in the sun, here in the shade, wind. It's pretty cold. So that's what we got going, and I guess it's time to shut up and start cutting. What that was? well, that's it for this side for right now. One little note, if you find yourself, running a saw, period, you saw me a few times stepping backwards while I'm in the saw, and footing is an issue. If you can work it to where you're stepping forward into what you can see, you're way better off when you got a chainsaw in your hand than when you are walking backwards, putting your feet on uneven ground and logs that roll and all that kind of stuff. So something to think about. If you can plan your work so you can walk ahead into it, it's probably a good bit safer than going backwards. Sometimes though, work works out to where you're going backwards. Yeah, I'm trying to cut the clean stuff first to save my chain. The first batch of wood I got from this guy, a lot of it was really dirty and muddy, and it was rough on my chain a little bit. This batch of wood mostly came out of the woods after the ground was frozen, and so except for some of the big stuff on the bottom, it's actually pretty clean. So pretty happy about that. In fact, I told him I'll take clean green wood over dirty dead wood, and so he took me up on that. But got what I asked for, so I'm happy about that. All right, we're gonna move you guys around, get set up on the other side, and whack a few more logs. First round getting started on this wood pile. Fun part's over. What I cut ought to be enough once it gets split to be a trailer load, and get me started on the second wood stack for next year out there. So yeah, probably turn this thing off in a second and get the maul out and start pounding on that. Well, we got plenty of wood still left to cut, as you can see. I don't know that I'm making out super duper well. Yeah, I probably am doing pretty well in terms of buying it like this and cutting it myself. One of the reasons I like to cut it myself is my stove will hold a 24-inch log. I'm trying to cut these at 21. You guys may have seen some of these pink markings on there. I'm trying to train myself to cut 21 inches instead of 16 or 18. And those logs look awful long when I'm cutting them, but they fit in the stove, so that's what we're going for. And you can also let you guys check out the man glitter here. So that's a round file chain. Yeah, just a round file chain. I touched it up right before we came out here and started cutting. Wasn't too bad at all. Running a Oregon full comp, just basic round file chain, and man, I'm pretty happy with how it cuts. Almost went down the road of doing the square grind thing, but Problem with that for me is having the skill to touch up a square ground chain in the field. I don't have that, and Lord knows that round file cuts just fine for my purposes. So that's what we're going to stick with, I think. I am going to try dropping the rakers down a little bit next time, because I know the power head will pull that, and running super smooth right now. So I think we got some room there to lower the depth gauges on that just a little bit and still have good cutting, but maybe pulling some bigger chips out of that wood. It's fun to play around, so that's what we'll do. Again, that was that Stihl MS500i. Way overkill for this, way overkill for almost everything I do. Every now and then I'll get into a huge piece of oak and use most of that bar up, but that is absolutely the exception rather than the rule. So it's nice to have, fun to play with. So far so good on that saw. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. I'll let you guys go. I'll get back to work. See you next time.